Welcome to Cavaletto Studios. I'm Chris. Today's class starts with gentle shifts from child's pose to bigger movements, building heat in the body. We will incorporate deep stretches and balance. Towards the end, we'll add a series of twists and stretches. I will also demonstrate a great sciatic stretch while laying on your back. So let's get started. Okay, we're going to start in child's pose, so separate your knees, feet together, walk those hands way out front, just work your way there, kind of like a cat, stretching out, shifting your body gently side to side as you melt into your child's pose, bringing your forehead to the mat, resting your fingertips and your palms down, relax those shoulders. And then tune into your breath. Breathing in through the nose and then out through the nose. Feel the stretch through your back, your hips, your shoulders. Fill the belly as you breathe in. And then as you exhale, feel the belly shrinking down. And then after your next full breath, breathe in through the nose, and then a nice exhale through the mouth. And then back to your normal breathing. And just think about your practice today. If you have an intention you'd like to set, feel free. We're going to slowly start to build heat in the body and move the body. So rock your head side to side, massaging your forehead. Good. Then lift your head just slightly off the floor and start rocking your whole body side to side, shifting your body weight to the right and to the left. Feel the change in the stretch through the shoulders and armpits. Good. And then reach those fingers. Look forward at your fingertips. And then slowly draw your body all the way up so your shoulders come over your fingers and your wrists. So you're in a wide-kneed modified plank. And then shift your hips all the way back towards your heels. And then again, coming up, and this time when we come up, we're going to draw the knees more underneath the hips and leaning forward, and we're slowly going to start to lengthen through the spine. Shift your hips back again to the heels, and then forward again. And again, if you need to walk your hands forward a little more, you can, and then lengthen and open up as you shift forward, as you inhale. And then exhale all the way back again, lengthening. And then inhale, coming up. Let's open the chest a little more here. Lifting the head, letting the hips gently sink down, not compressing that low back. Go to where you feel comfortable, and then shift back again. And then maybe walk the fingertips a little more forward so you can really pull those shoulders away from the ears. Lifting to, very nice. Arching that back, up dog. Lengthen all the way back to those. This time I want you to walk your fingertips backwards. Push your hips to your heels. Pause here for a moment. Feel your belly pressing into your thighs. Good. And then as we come up, take your hands just a tiny bit wider. Keep them closer and moving yourself all the way into your up dog. And you can have your knees on the floor or off the floor at this time if you'd like. Just feel that lengthening and that stretching. Good. And then the knees go to the floor. Shift to tabletop. Walking the hands back underneath the shoulders, knees under hips. Inhale, lift the head and the tailbone. And then exhale, round. And then inhale, lift and open. And then exhale, round. And then again, lift and open, shoulders come away from the ears. And exhale, round, pushing into the tops of the feet. And last one, inhale, lift, and exhale, round. And then find your neutral spine, tuck those toes under, really give them a little wiggle, wiggle, side to side, stretch through the ankles. While they're here, we're going to shift the hips backwards so we can really stretch more into the bottoms of the feet and the Achilles tendon, the ankle. And we're shifting to our downward facing dog. After we spread out our fingers, push into those fingertips, lift those hips, and find your downward facing dog. And then paddle out your feet, walk your dog, shift your hips. You want it to feel so, so good. Make those adjustments, maybe walk your hands further forward or further back, whatever feels good to you. So like I mentioned before, let's build a little more heat. So press your left foot down, lift your right leg up, three-legged dog, rotate your right ankle. Good, and I want you to pull that right knee to your nose, round through the back. Take a breath in, and then extend it back up. Good, now take your right knee to the right elbow. Find your plank and hold for a moment, and extend back up. Lengthen, lengthen, and then right knee to left elbow. And then extend back up. Good. Now you're going to take that same right foot and want to bring it between those hands. And then lower your left knee to the floor. Good. And you can untuck the toe or keep it tucked under. Walk your hands up onto your thighs. And lower those shoulders. Good, and just relax here. So your hands are on your thighs, but not your knee. We never want to put pressure on that kneecap. And then just do a gentle shift and release forward, stretching through that left hip flexor. Good, one more time. And then you're going to walk your right foot over towards the right edge of your mat and continue to shift forward and back. And then as you shift forward, I want you to draw that knee open to the right. Really draw it open all the way. Good, one more. And then we're coming back to the center with the foot. Walk it towards the center. And then we're going to shift backwards, hip to heel, and pull that toe up. You can use 2 blocks here if you need to. And then I want you to shift forward, keeping the hands towards the foot. And then shift back again. Maybe you shift a little further into that hip. Notice if you twist to the left, twist your left shoulder to the right knee. Shake out that right toe a little, that foot, wiggle, wiggle. And then bring it forward back to that lunge, low lunge. We're going to place the hands on the floor, step back to your plank. Find that strength again. Take a deep breath in, pull the shoulders away from the ears, spreading out the fingers, push into the fingertips. Shift backwards to your downward facing dog. Adjust the feet, pedal them out. Notice the difference already. Good. Plant your right foot, lift your left leg up, three-legged dog. Bring that left knee, right heel to the floor, left knee to the nose, round through the back. Nice exhale. Inhale, extend that leg up. Now that left knee is going to the left elbow in a plank. Again, bringing heat to the body, warming ourselves up. Extend that leg up. Left knee to right elbow. And extend that leg up. Now that left foot is coming between the hands. And you're going to lower your right knee to the floor. Feel free to put a blanket or pillow under it. And we're going to walk our hands up on the thigh. Nice and tall. Again, making sure your knee is over your ankle, especially when you hinge forward and we're not pressing on that knee. So if you need to walk your feet forward, that is fine. And you can also use blocks. Now we're going to do a gentle shift forward and back, stretching through that right hip flexor. Waking it up. And your foot can be tucked under or flat in the back. play around with your variations and feel what feels good to you. Now we're going to shift forward slightly. Walk your foot over to the left side of your mat. And then again, we're shifting a little deeper, getting a little bit of an angle. Good, forward and back. It'll just help us move better into our postures and a little deeper. One more. And then shift your body straight up and down as you walk your foot back to the middle line of your mat. And then we're going to hinge backwards so your hips go towards your heel, not sitting all the way down though. And then just wiggle and move that left foot side to side. Stretching through the calf and the hamstring. And wiggle, wiggle. Now we're going to walk the hands forward towards the feet. Shift back forward to that low lunge. And then we're going to step back into plank. Lift that back knee. Take a nice strong step back. Find your plank. Pull the shoulders away from your ears. Shift yourself forward. Slowly bend the elbows and lower yourself to your chaturanga. Warming up the upper body. Go to the belly. Untuck the toes. Shift the hands back. Find either a baby cobra or a full up dog. Supported or unsupported. And just breathe. And then we're going to shift to our downward facing dog. Walk out those feet, shift those hips, pedal, pedal. Oh, feels so good. Press into those fingertips and then find your downward facing dog. And it's okay if your heels don't touch. Mine don't either. Draw your belly towards your thighs, pressing into your fingertips. Pull your shoulders away from the ears and let your head hang heavy. Just let it hang. Look at your knees or your toes. Good. Melt your left heel to the floor. Bring your right leg up. Three-legged dog. Good. Maybe bend the knees, stack the hips. Keep that right shoulder pushing to the floor. And now you're going to take your right foot between your hands and we're going to lift to crescent lunge. Nice and slow all the way up. Lifting, lifting. Draw those fingertips up to the sky and then melt a little deeper into your hips. Pressing into that back right heel, press it backwards. Make sure your right knee is over your right ankle. Breathe, relax your shoulders. And now feel the fingertips pulling to the sky again. But keeping the shoulders a little bit lower, like down, away from the ears. So it's more of a lengthening through that left hip. Now we're going to pivot onto our right heel, changing to warrior two. Deepening our stretch. Reach those fingertips front and back. Bend and straighten slightly into that front right knee. Just feel those hips opening up. Relax so your hips are sideways, but the right knee is towards the front of your mat. Make sure it's not collapsing in towards the side of the mat. Push it to the right and forward. Extend those arms, looking over those right fingertips. And breathe. Now you're going to shorten your stance and rotate towards the front of your mat to a warrior one. So you're going to bring your left foot in, turn it on the outside edge of your left foot, and extend your arms straight up. And relax the shoulders. Feel the thumbs pulling to the back of your mat. Feel that stretch through the ankle, the calf. Now bring both arms behind your back. Interlace those fingers, open up, chest expansion. Then we're going to add in here a humble warrior. So slowly come down, draw your right shoulder on the inside of your right knee, bringing your arms up, and your head looks towards the floor. Your eyes can look back at your back heel. Good. Now from here, I want you to slowly release your fingertips to the floor and pivot off your back heel and find a lunge. Bring both hands on the inside of your right foot. And you can lower your left knee to the floor and walk your right foot back out to the right edge again. Now here you have lots of options. You can have your hands on a block. You can place your right hand on your right inside knee and push it open, or just let it fall open so you're on the outside edge of your right foot. And just breathe here, pressing on that knee, opening things up. Now, if some of you want a little more of a challenge, I'm going to give you some options on those variations. Feel free to stay here. Another option is to bend your back leg and even just reach for it with your right foot, right hand. Option 2, you can also reach for that right foot and pull it in and lean back and just open up that chest, keeping that right knee falling open. Stretching a little more for that quad. You can even pull it a little tighter. You can pull your hand on the inside of the arch and pull it in. One more breath. And then we're going to release that foot if you're holding on. Bring both hands on the back to the floor. Now you're going to walk your hands on either side of your foot, right foot. Walk your right foot to the left side of your mat, and then drop your right knee to the mat. So it's just another way to ease ourselves into pigeon. And then just shift your body side to side. If you need a block or blanket under that right hip, go for it. It's a nice variation. If you struggle to get close to the floor, you want your left knee and the top of your foot on the floor, and then walk yourself forward to melt into your pigeon. And just breathe here. You can have your hands stacked, your elbows bent. You can reach your hands forward and your forehead to the mat again. You can even stack your fist and put your hands on that. Again, lots of variations. Continue that breath. Try to focus on your breathing. Notice what's going on in your hip and your hamstring on that right leg. Two more breaths here. You want it to feel good. You don't want to have pain. And after your second breath, we'll walk our hands closer to the leg, lift up the upper body. Go to your fingertips now, like tense, and really open up and lengthen through that left hip. Feel the breath come in, feel your belly expand, and then as you exhale, feel your shoulders relax. Good, now you're going to spread out those fingers, place the palms down, tuck your left toe under, find your plank. Slide that right leg back and find your plank. Nice and solid. Just holding it here. We're going to shift onto that right leg, the sideways, so a side plank. Now, option here, I'm going to give you a variation to drop your right knee and bring it out as a kickstand. So here's a side variation of the side plank, or you can have the feet staggered or stacked and find your side plank. Open up that left arm above your head, reach, reach, reach to the sky. Find your strength and your power. Another breath here. And now we're going to lower both hands to the floor. Find your plank again. Now option, you can shift to down dog or even take a child's pose. Or you can do a full vinyasa flow, lowering down, lifting up, and finding your downward facing dog. So you got 3 options there. And again, if you need a child's pose, slide back into it. Maybe you pedal your feet, maybe you shift around, maybe you melt into your downward dog, pressing through your fingertips, feeling your belly pressing to the thighs. And just breathe here. Inhale and exhale. Good. Now we're going to melt our right foot to the floor. Slowly lift your left leg. Find your 3-legged dog. Let's bend the knee. Stack the hips. Keep your left shoulder pushing down to the floor. Leveling out those shoulders but opening up the hips. Feels so good. Now take your left foot all the way between your hands. We're going to find our crescent lunge. We're going to lift up. Feel your strength in your legs. Find your balance. Press into that back heel. We have some great twist and some balance work towards the end that we're gearing up for. So find that balance right here, pressing into the heel in the back there. Relax your shoulders. Now feel the fingertips pulling to the sky. Feel that stretch through that right hip. And breathe. Maybe you go to your ujjayi breathing. That's an inhale through the nose, contract the throat, exhale through the nose. Now we're going to pivot onto the right outer edge of our right foot, lengthening and going into our warrior two. Maybe you inch your left foot forward if you want to go a little deeper, making sure your knee is over your ankle. You want to be able to see your big toe, so your knee is not collapsing in, but open it up to the left, arms reaching to the front and back of your mat. And now your hips are facing the side. Just feel the lengthening, the strength. Relax those shoulders a little more. And breathe. If you need to straighten and bend the knees, feel free to. Now we're going to shorten our stance just a little. Pull that right foot in just a bit. Go onto the right outer edge of that foot and find your warrior one. So when we rotate here, our hips were open. Now we're rotating our hips to the front of the mat from the side. So everything is facing the front. And breathe in. Reach those arms up. That left knee is over the left ankle. It's a great way to wake up also and get your confidence going into that warrior one. Now we're going to bring both hands behind the back. Interlace those fingers, press the palms together. Open up that chest. Slowly draw your chest to the thigh, your belly to the thigh. You can bring your shoulder on the inside of the knee or on top. Lift those arms, humble warrior. Head comes down. Just breathe here. Feel the strength in your legs. We're also working our legs at the same time. Our core is working. Feel that belly pulling in and keeping your strength. Then we're going to release the fingertips to the floor. Good. Now we're going to take a bigger step back and we're going to lower that right knee to the floor. You're going to walk your left foot out to the left side of your mat. Good. Untuck your right toe and then gently just press that left knee open. Feel the foot rotate from the bottom of the foot to the outside edge. And just hang out here. Relax those shoulders and breathe. Now option, you can stay here. You can be using blocks under your hands if this is too much for your hip. You can also, for some of you want more of a challenge, you can add a bent knee in the back, or maybe you just reach your left hand back and grab hold of the inside, or you can even hold the outside of that foot, whatever feels better to you. And relax those shoulders. Feel the hip opening up. You can bend the knee, bend the elbow. Play around with it. If it doesn't work, take it back a step. And that's why it's called practice. We practice to see what works for our bodies. Another breath in. Now we're going to slowly let go of that bent leg if you have it. Bring the hands back to front. Slowly rotate onto the bottom of your foot and bring your arms on either side. You're going to walk your left foot to the right side of your mat. And then let that left knee go to the floor. Make adjustments. Maybe you throw a block or a blanket under that left hip. And you're going to inch yourself back down into pigeon on that left leg. So your right knee, your right top of your foot is on the mat. It's nice to wiggle and inch side to side. It helps you melt into that posture a little more without forcing anything. When you're ready, take your hands down. This is all about very slow, gentle, purposeful, and just being mindful of how we get into our postures, what's working for our body. We're trying to go a little deeper on some of them today. And then lower your head. You can reach your arms out or stack them. And then tune into your breath. Notice what's going on in your body as you breathe. Breathe in through your nose. Fill the belly. Exhale through the nose. Notice if your body melts a little deeper into it. A couple more breaths here. You want this to feel good. We never force a posture. Think about what you can relax a little more, like your shoulders. Relax your shoulders a little more. Relax your right leg. See if you melt a little different into that left hip. Good. After that second breath, We're going to walk the hands closer to the leg, lift ourselves up, opening things up. Maybe go to the fingertips like tense and lengthen through the spine, feeling that stretch through that right hip, melting into it. We're going to tuck your back right toes under and slowly plant those hands nice and firmly as you take your time, shifting to a plank. Nice and sturdy and strong, pressing into those toes. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Good. Now I want you to slowly shift onto your outside edge of your left foot. Good. Now my option here is to lower the left knee, kick the foot out, find your variation of a side plank, or you can have your legs straight, staggered, stacked, and then lift your hips and your right arm. Find your power. Da-da-da. Find your strength. Good. One more breath. And then we're going to come back to our plank. Nice and strong. Excellent. We're going to shift forward on our toes. Slowly lower chaturanga to upward facing dog. Feel free to take a child's pose if you would like a break. And then back to downward facing dog. And then breathe. Now we're going to do 2 vinyasa flows, and we'll take a little tiny child's pose after that, and then move on to our balance. So I want you to shift gently to your plank, and then you don't have to do these at all. It's up to you. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Now we're going to add on. We're going to lift the right leg. Bring it between the feet, hands. Bring your left leg to join. Slowly inhale all the way up. Exhale, fall, flow and fall and swan dive down. Take your right foot back first, then your left foot. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And you can do that mini little one I did earlier, and you don't have to come all the way up, downward facing dog. So again, you can go plank to downward dog, or excuse me, to chaturanga to down dog, or you can add the leg. Left leg up, you can come all the way to the standing foot between the hands, then the other foot. Inhale, rise. Exhale, flow down. Good, left leg back. Find your plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Good. I want you to take your feet nice and wide for a moment. Press into your hands. Shift your hips. Good. And then from your having your feet wide, I want you to lower your knees. Just hover the knees wide above the floor for a moment. Good. Knees come all the way down. Draw your big toes together. And let's find our child's pose. And we're going to pause here. So I want you to draw your hands forward, draw your forehead to the mat. Take 2 deep breaths. Good, and then spread out those fingertips. And then come all the way out of your child's pose. Draw those knees under the hips. Tuck your toes. Let's find our downward facing dog. Now hopefully you feel nice and warmed up so we can move on. And I want you to just walk, hop, or jump both feet forward to a forward fold. About hip distance apart, separate those toes. Reaching down, maybe hold the opposite elbow and just nice little swing. Take a half lift, place the hands on the shins, fold the shoulders away from the ears, and inhale. Flat back, exhale, fold. Good, let's inhale, rise all the way up. Inhale, inhale, slight back bend. Exhale, palms to heart space. And then open it up. Find your mountain. Bring the palms facing the front. Pull those shoulders down and back. And then just open it up. And just breathe here for a moment. Okay. Now we're going to add a little balance like I promised. I'm not going to go back on my promise on you. I want you to shift all your weight to that right leg. So we're going to start on our right. Find a focal point out in front of you, a dristi, which is a non-moving focal point. Feel the shoulders relax a little more and lengthen the neck. Good. shifting all your weight to that right foot. Feel free to use a wall or a chair if you need to. Lift your left foot off the floor, bringing the knee at 90 degrees at the hip and the knee. And then gently press that left leg forward. If you have a strap or a belt and you need to use that, that's fine. But we're going to flow. So I want you to bend the knee, so you might not need the strap. And I want you to press back to airplane. All the way back. Bring the thumbs towards the floor, fingertips open wide, palms pressing towards your body. Take your time getting here, straightening the right leg, leveling out those hips. And breathe. Good. Now I want you to slowly stand tall. Bring the knee back up, left knee, all the way back up to 90 degrees. Extend it straight if you can. Keep your eyes on your focal point. Good. One more time. Find your airplane. Press the leg back. If you need to put your toe down to get there, that's fine. Flex that left foot, level out the hips. Straighten that right leg. Push your shoulders away from your ears. Feel your fingertips pulling towards your back leg. Good. Last one. And then bring it forward. Standing slow and tall. Feel that leg working. Bring the knee up and then extend it forward. Good. And then we're going to bring that foot up to a figure four. Cross that left ankle over so you're here. Turn so you can see. Flexing that foot. Finding the balance now that I moved. And then you can lower yourself down. You can bring your palms to heart space. It's up to you how low you go. Maybe you sink down forward. Maybe you wrap your hands around the knee. Maybe you reach all the way to the floor. It's up to you where you go. And just finding that balance. Play around with it. And then we're slowly going to lift up. And let's hug the knee into the chest. And then release it. And give those legs a shake. Because that right leg, depending on where you have maybe some tightness going on or issues, you might be feeling it. Maybe it's up high in the glute or the quad, maybe down in the ankle or the shin. Find your mountain again. Feel your body grounding into the earth, and let's close our eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Let it out through the mouth. Let go of some of that stress from balancing out. We're going to take a nice deep breath. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. And then inhale, half lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way back up. Exhale, palms to heart space. Let's find our mountain again. Open it up. This time your body weight is on the left leg. Find your drishti, pull the shoulders away from the ears, lift that right leg up 90 degrees. Flex the foot, extend it out in front of you. And you might notice one leg easier than the other. Then we're going to bend the knee, we're going to find our airplane. So palms open, press, they go towards the body, fingertips open, lift, find your airplane. Shoulders pull away from the ears, flex your right heel, straighten your left leg, leveling out your hips. You're breathing. Your focal point has changed, and then you're going to come back up. Find your balance, knee is up. Extend it out. Good. And then here we go back to our airplane. Shift it all the way back. Press, press, press. Level out those hips, flex that foot, nice, and then come all the way back up. Let's do one more, flex it, press that heel forward. Third time's a charm, right? So press it back, find your airplane. Lengthen, lengthen. Notice what's going on. Again, feel free to use a chair or wall, and then we're going to come all the way back up, pressing that leg forward, and then bringing that right ankle across the thigh. Figure four, palms at heart space, lowering down. And you can stay here. You can wrap the hands around. You can reach for the floor. Again, I'll turn sideways so you can see. So you're here or here. Maybe melting into it. Maybe wrapping your fingers or reaching to the floor. And feeling that leg, notice what's going on. Good. Turn back. Then I want you to slowly come up and out. Let's hug that right knee in to the chest and then release it to the floor. Give those legs a shake. Might be feeling them now. Excellent job. So let's bring the toes all the way together. Ground the feet into the floor. Open to your mountain. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Let it out through the mouth. Good. Inhale the arms up. Exhale to chair. Utkatasana. Slide those shoulder blades back and down. Sit into those heels. Good. Draw the fingertips back towards the back of your mat. Rock forward onto the balls of the feet. Find your balance. Good. Inhale, heels to the floor. Lift the arms. And then exhale, hands back. Shift to the toes. And then inhale back up to chair. And then rise all the way up. Slight back bend. Exhale. Forward fold, swan dive. Good. Bend those knees. Step back to your plank. Find that strength again. Rock forward onto the toes. Slowly lower chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. You are free to take a child's pose here if that is in your practice today. Adjust your feet. Maybe you shift or walk them out. Pedaling those feet. Press into the fingertips. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Go up into the toes, back into the heels. Good. Now we're going to slowly, I want you to bring your feet forward. You can cross them or you just walk forward and shift to your bottom. And we're going to have a seat and sit nice and tall. Find your Dandasana, your staff pose. Sit up very tall. Take a deep breath in. Reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Keeping the spine long. You can bring your head down, but keep that spine long. The belly towards the thigh. Feel that stretch. Wiggle those knees if you need to. Shake them out. We're going to inhale, lift the arms all the way up. Exhale the fingertips behind the back. Interlace those fingers. Press the palms, flex the feet. Good. Slowly hinge your body forward, keeping your head looking forward, and just press your fingertips and your hands towards the back of the mat, opening up through the chest. Good. Tilt your chin down just enough that you can straighten out through that neck, but keep your upper body straight, just leaning forward, hinging through those hips. And then slowly release. Bring the fingertips together in the front. Interlace them, press the palms together. Round through the upper back, tuck your chin, lean slightly back away from your fingers. Your fingers are pushing towards your toes, but your upper body is reaching backwards, so a nice stretch. Now you're going to inhale, reach both arms up, straighten out. Grab hold of your left wrist and gently pull to the left. Slowly come back to center, hold the right wrist, lean and reach to the left. We're coming back to center. Find cactus arms. Open up the arms. Make sure your head can move. Good. Inhale the arms, fingertips touch. Exhale back to cactus arms. Bring the fingertips behind the back, fingers facing the body. Lean back as you spread out those fingers and then open up the chest. Point the toes. Slide those heels and big toes together. Now maybe this is plenty for you. Maybe you want to lift, reversing your plank. Opening things up and breathe. Good. One more breath. And then slowly lower down, hips on the floor. Good. We're going to inch our body forward on the mat, heels on the floor. Hold the back of the thighs. Find some core work here. So find a long spine, leaning back into it. You can hold the legs. You can let them go. You can lift your feet, finding your boat. You can let go of your boat. Good. Now we're going to do some movements in our boat. We're going to take a breath in. We're going to lengthen through the spine. The knees come a little more towards the chest. And then as you exhale, I want you to lengthen the arms, the legs, shrink halfway to your mat. And then inhale, lift. And then exhale, extend. And then inhale, lift. And exhale, extend. We have two more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, extend. And inhale, lift. Exhale, extend and hold. Good. Inhale, hold it here. And then exhale all the way to the floor. Good. Make those adjustments. Walk those shoulder blades out. Yay, the earth. We are nice and close. But we are not done yet. So again, some nice twist coming our way. So let's walk our feet towards our hips. Reach those fingertips towards those ankles or those heels. And we're going to slowly lift the hips to a bridge, keeping the knees and everything in alignment with the hips, pressing up, lengthening through the spine. Take a breath in and out. Feel the rise and fall of that belly. Feel it coming up and sinking back down with each breath. And then slowly lowering your hips to the floor. We're going to take our right ankle over the left thigh, open up that knee. Good, let's lift to a single leg bridge. Just feel that nice stretch through the hip and the strength through that left leg. And then lower back down. Good, extend that right leg to the sky. We're going to give it a squeeze behind the hamstring. Option to lift the hands higher up. Option 2, straighten out that left leg. Rotate that right ankle. Just give it a nice stretch. And then we're going to bend the knee. And you're going to place your left hand like right on your about mid-shin area of your right leg. Pull the foot across the body to the left. And then just give a little press onto the right knee. So you're pushing that right knee to the left shoulder. And then now flex and push your left leg into the floor. This is a great glute stretch. It's very good for the sciatic too. Really stretching it out. So you're gently pressing it up. You don't want it too high or too low with that foot right in the middle there. And then slowly come back to center. Place that right foot flat on the floor, knee bent. Let the left leg come in to join it. Walk the feet in, reach your hands towards your heels. Good. Now take your left ankle over the right thigh. Let's lift to a single leg bridge. And notice when you lift, what happens with the hips? Are they wobbly? Does one leg work better than the other? And then slowly lower it all the way down. Good. And extend that left leg up, rotate that left ankle. Make sure we go both directions. You can bring your hands higher up onto the shin if you would like, or just hold the hamstring. Option 2 is to straighten out that right leg. Just really feel that nice stretch. Good, now you're gonna bend your left knee, hug it into your chest. If your right leg's not straight, make sure you straighten it. Right hand goes on the shin of your left leg, not the foot. You want to have it on the ankle or the shin area. And pull that foot across the body towards your right shoulder. Take your left hand, place it on the outside of the right knee and give it a little push across the chest towards your right shoulder. Again, great glute stretch, helps with sciatic issues. And just breathe. So we warm things up. We got some good hip stretching, and this will just helps complete everything. If you have any sciatic issues, this is a good way to keep it flexible and stretched out and get some relief, hopefully. We're going to hug that knee into the chest. Place the foot back on the floor. Walk both feet in. Reach your fingertips towards your heels or your ankles. Good. We're going to lift to a bridge. I want you to interlace your fingers maybe and walk your shoulders underneath your back and just open things up. And breathe. And you do not have to bind your hands. It's up to you what works for you. One more breath. Then we're going to unlace the fingers, walk the shoulders out, lower those hips back down to the floor. Let's give our knees a squeeze and a rock side to side. Excellent. Now you're going to place both feet flat on the floor. Walk the feet nice and close together. Bring your arms to cactus arms. Drop both knees to your right. Remember, I said we got a twist, so we still got the twist. Take your right foot, place it on top of your left knee or shin or thigh, whatever works for you. It's an option, and just feel that nice twist. Look towards your left arm. Try to keep both shoulders on the floor. You want this to feel good. Focus on the breath again. Feel the rise and fall of the belly. You're on the inside edge of your left foot. And then very slowly take your right foot off of the left knee. Lift your left knee to neutral. Then your right knee follows. Find your center. Good. Bring the feet a little closer together again. Drop both knees to your left. And then bring your left foot on top of your right. Feel that nice stretch. Turn your head and look over to your right hand. Keep both shoulders on the floor. And focus on that breath again. Notice what's going on in the body. Is one hip or oblique side of the waist tighter than the other? Means you're normal. You all have one side tighter than the other. And then you're going to bring your head back to neutral. Cross that foot off, take the foot off, and then bring your right knee up and then your left. Walk both feet in, about hip distance apart. Good. Go ahead and bring both hands down next to the body. Now we're going to lift to our bridge again. This time I want you to take your arms overhead. Reach them over. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, lower the hands and the hips all the way back down to the floor. We're going to walk the bottoms of the feet together and open up the knees. Let them fall open. Gently press both hands into the top of the thighs. And just lengthen here. If this bothers your back, just try that sciatic stretch again. You don't have to open the knees. And then we're going to use the hands to press the outside of the thighs. Bring the knees back together and then hug them into the chest. Good. And then you're going to push your heels towards the sky, but keep your knees bent and separate them, and maybe grab hold of your big toes. Now this is where you might want to strap if you can't reach your toes, and then straighten out just the right leg. And then bend the knee and pull that right knee towards your right, basically towards your right armpit. And then straighten the left leg. Then again, use a strap, do what you need to. Maybe you hold the thigh instead. And then bend the knee, pull that left knee to your armpit. And then do a little rock side to side for happy baby. And then find your center. Good, let's hug the knees into the chest. Bring your arms back to cactus arms, and then bring both knees to 90 degrees. So the feet are off the floor, 90 at the hip of the knee. Drop both knees to your right for another twist. And look over to your left. Now you can try to pull both knees up towards your right elbow while you're twisting. If it's too much, then let your feet rest on the floor. Bring your head to neutral. Use your core. We'll bring both knees up to the center and then slowly let them drop to the left. You can look to the right and pull the knees upward towards your elbow. Feel that nice twist. Both shoulders stay on the floor. And then bring your head to center. Bring those knees all the way back up. And then lower the feet slowly to the floor. Good. We're going to straighten out both legs. Straighten out the arms, full body stretch, reach, point the toes. Try flexing the toes. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, bring your arms next to the body. Walk your shoulder blades away from your ears. Let your legs just fall open wide. And then we're going to close our eyes for a moment. Find your Shavasana. And just double check with your shoulders. Can you walk them further away from your ears? Palms are up. Take a deep breath in. If you're comfortable, we're closing our eyes. Letting the air go out the nose. Feeling the chest and the belly shrink down. If you set an intention at the beginning of class, think about that again. Notice the body and how you feel. One more breath. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. It's time to get on with the day, or the afternoon, or whatever time it is where you are. You're going to bend the knees. Take your time, either rolling up or to your side, coming to a seated posture, an easy seat, sitting up nice and tall. Let your hands rest on your thighs. Notice what's going on in your hips, your neck. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath in. Align your ears. With your eyes closed, align your ears over your shoulders and shoulders over hips. Appreciate each and every one of you joining me today. Go ahead and flutter those eyes open. Notice the room around you. Take a deep breath in, reach those fingertips up to the sky. Exhale, palms together to heart space. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.